Welcome back now to our next conversation. With rising global inflation squeezing incomes, household and consumers have had to deal with a whole lot of constraints, in Nigeria. Let's get a sense of consumer spending habits and expectations for the remaining half of the year and what retail can do at this time. Joining us now is Francisca Odejiko, marketing professional. Join us right here in the studio. Great to have you.
Thank you very much, Laddie.
So, a year ago, maybe I take to a supermarket, maybe about 20,000 naira, and, pick up some grocery items, essentials. And now I'm having to spend double of that. And, there's been talk about, the word shrinkflation, yes, going around at this time. How are you seeing it?
Shrinkflation, as it's called, is a mixture of shrinking and inflation, basically. So companies have decided to use that as a strategy to, to cut cost of production, basically. So I feel like it's an unending strategy. It's nothing new. It's been there, although not legal.
Right. Not legal.
But in the business sense, it's a bit legal because, with the rising prices of raw materials, the currency devaluation, businesses will have to look for ways to cut costs or at least put some weight on their consumers.
Right.
Yeah, so that's basically how it's going. And I think for we, the consumers, we have to either
look for
cheaper alternatives or we just buy.
Or you
currently
just leave it alone if you can't afford it.
Well,
and that also has an effect on,
it has
the producers. But, I want you to give me, a sense of the state of consumer demand right now. Is it still healthy?
Is it still healthy?
Right.
Are you asking
me?
It's not. It's not. First off, you have to look at the purchasing power. So purchasing power is when it's how much a unit of currency, can buy a product or service. Now, when you look at our naira, how much, can we afford with our naira? Say 1,000 naira. Currently, bread, I think bread is like the popular,
exactly.
food. We can't use, I don't think in some supermarkets or supermarkets, we can't use 1,000 naira to buy bread anymore. So...
especially those really good ones.
Yes, especially those really good ones.
Right.
So now we have to say, I'm saying that consumer demand is currently not healthy. It's our purchasing power is is basically eroding. Consumer demand is my goodness.
So how
it's painful.
Right.
It's painful because we cannot say, oh, this product is available, I can afford it. So we can't say, oh, I have to, get this one and still get this other one. Currently, we do not have a purchasing power. It's very low. It's at the minimum. It's at the lowest. So we can't say we have a demand. Right. We don't have any choice as it is right now.
And talking about demand at this point, how are the retailers actually navigating all of this and still, making sales? How are you guys marketing the products at this point?
Okay, so for the organization that I work with, we run promotions, we run discounts. So customers, we push those things, for customers to see that, okay, yes, we understand that prices are high now, but we are going to refrain from getting this margin or this profit and still give you, at a lower price. So you can see, say, 30% discounts off product. You can see 10% of the discounts off product. So that's basically how retail is going now. So the freebies, the promotions are what we are trying to, implement for consumers to at least have a choice, and have the ability to purchase most items.
And how are you guys managing, customer satisfaction, at this point? Because there've been talk about, consumers, complaining
yes.
about the, service and all of that. How are you guys managing that?
First thing first, customer service is the backbone of customer retention and loyalty. Regardless of what the economy is saying, regardless of what the environment is saying, you as a business need to understand that your customers would at least come first. Without them, you cannot make sales. So customer service is the pinpoint. So you have to, be efficient. You have to be reliable. You have to let your customers know that, oh, they are welcome, even while they are grumbling concerning, your prices and everything. So at the least, your environment, your business environment have to be welcoming for them. So that's basically it.
And obviously with a squeeze, on disposable income, the retailers have to do more, at this point. What are your recommendations, for them to actually scale, at this time and, keep business going?
Okay, so, we currently, the world is moving digital. So for retailers now, you could, like during the COVID-19, we saw delivery services increasing and all of that stuff. And, some retailers, sort of reduced it when, the lockdown was lifted. I feel like retailers it should still be part of, business. Fast delivery, fast reconciliations, responding to customer complaints early, accepting feedback and as well as implementing it almost immediately, especially those that, are hurting your customers. You have to listen to your customers. You have to also listen to your environment. What are you doing to make ease of, doing business with you easy? So those are like sort of things that, could be implemented for retailers to scale, yeah.
And how are you guys managing, this rising energy costs? Diesel is not what it used to be.
Yes.
At this point. How are you managing your supply or your energy mix at this point?
Honestly, it's not been easy. Not to share confidential information, but it's not been easy, because you're making profits. But that profit is going back into buying diesel, trying to run, say, 5 or 10 stores at a time. And, your diesel, when, the light situation is not friendly, you're just like, what can we do? But honestly, it's not been easy. That's all I can say. It's not been easy. It's not been fair to us.
I'm sure you guys will have to use solar. And, most of all these other...
Yes, that's basically the new thing now, solar. But even solar is not cheap.
Right.
I mean, to put it in 5 to 10 stores, it's not cheap. So you're still going to bring out from that little profit you've even managed to make. So it's not been easy.
It's not been easy. I can imagine. But looking at consumer trends, right now, what's your outlook for consumer behavior for the rest of 2022?
Consumers would. I'm a consumer. Right. You're a consumer.
We're all consumers.
We're all consumers. So basically, would focus on the essentials. Like I said earlier on, our purchasing power is being eroded. So our demand, cannot even be as high as possible, like as before. So I feel like consumers are going to mainly focus on essentials. They won't be able to, buy the extras anymore. Everybody is going to go into a retail store or a supermarket with one list, and they're coming out with that thing in that list. There's no time to say, oh, I might need this tomorrow. There's no time for that. Then I feel like consumers or say your customers would expect that with the environment that is, currently hounding on their purchasing power, they would expect reliable services. They would expect an efficient customer service. They would expect that this organization that I'm coming to patronize, this organization that I'm coming to buy something from would treat me well. At least, if not, I hop on to the next person. Also, consumer loyalty or brand loyalty or advocacy would help in sales because, the level of customer satisfaction over time, would guarantee, if they are consumers, we stand with them or stay with them.
Right. So, yeah. And, talking about customer loyalty, at this point, is there any loyalty? What options do consumers have at this point?
Honestly, I feel like there's still, I mean, the brands that have, effectively stood by their customers over time would definitely still have their, loyalty, their core customers still coming in, regardless of the fact that prices are on the increase. They will still have the option of saying, oh, I'm going to still go to these people regardless because they have given me the best over time.
Right,
So, yes.
and I just wonder how much limit, the average consumer, has out there at this point. That's these are major discussions, people are having, how far can the consumer go with these rising prices? Let's just hope inflation peaks, at some point, and we can get back to normalcy, by God's grace.
Hopefully.
All right, thank you so much, Francisca
You're welcome, Laddie.
marketing professional. It was great having this conversation with you.
Yes, thank you.